Have you ever felt like digital marketing literally has to be loud, pushy, and just aggressive to actually work? Well, welcome to this explainer because today we're unpacking a masterclass that flips that entire assumption completely on its head. Okay, let's dive right into this. We're going to deconstruct the exact content and visual strategy behind a brand known as The Sanctuary, which was founded by April Albright. Basically, this is your absolute blueprint for what we call soft marketing, a method that's human, grounded, and as you'll see, incredibly magnetic. To really get how this strategy works, we've got to start right at the foundation. This quote right here, this is the core why of April's brand, and it perfectly sets the tone for literally everything that follows. She anchors her audience immediately in the shared emotional reality. By just plainly stating that she knows what it feels like to need a soft place to breathe, she establishes instant empathy. It's not just some corporate mission statement. It's honestly like an immediate exhale for the viewer. It signals right away that this space is going to be entirely different from the absolute noise of their everyday feed. So here's the roadmap for today's explainer. First, we'll look at the soft marketing philosophy. Then we'll see how they map emotions to services. After that, we're decoding their 30-day funnel. And finally, crafting the visual vibe. All right, starting with section 1, the soft marketing philosophy, a soft place to land. Now, it's really important to realize that soft definitely doesn't mean unstructured, and this brilliantly illustrates exactly what I mean. Look at the contrast in platform strategy here. The Sanctuary expertly adapts its gentle messaging to fit the medium. On Facebook, the copy strategy is longer, it's gentle, it's highly reflective, which totally makes sense, right? It caters to an audience that's actually reading and scrolling through text. But hop over to TikTok, and the strategy shifts to short, simple, and doable content. They totally get that while the core feeling has to stay grounded across all touch points, the delivery mechanism absolutely must respect the unique psychology of each platform's users. This right here is the strict philosophy of this gentle brand. Nothing is rushed. Nothing is forced. I mean, just think about how radically different that is from traditional digital marketing. There are no blaring sirens, no aggressive countdown timers, no manufactured FOMO threatening that you're going to miss out forever. The Sanctuary literally does the exact opposite. They market through anti-urgency. By promising a space where things are allowed to soften, they're attracting an audience desperately seeking relief from that constant, everyday pressure. So you might be wondering, how do they handle the ask? Every piece of content needs some kind of call to action, but traditional buy now buttons would totally shatter that carefully crafted piece we just talked about. Now, what's really interesting here is how the Sanctuary uses these highly empathetic, never pushy phrases instead. Things like follow for gentle grounding or save this for when you forget. These actually function as incredibly powerful lead generation tools. They're disguised as these gentle little invitations, but they successfully drive real engagement, comments, and direct messages, quietly moving the audience right down the funnel. Moving right along to section 2, mapping emotions to services. Restorative solutions. Okay, this matrix is an absolute powerhouse of clear communication. Notice how every single negative emotional state is paired directly with a specific restorative solution. It's almost like a matching game for healing. If a client feels confused or stuck, they don't just book some generic appointment. No, they choose a clarity session to gain direction. Anxious or tense, they're guided straight to a peace and presence session. Or if they're feeling hurt and heavy, they go for the deep repair session for profound healing. It completely takes the guesswork out of the buying process. The client simply identifies how they feel, and the brand hands them the exact remedy. And right among those offerings, the Hope Circle plays this crucial, really strategic role. It's defined as a free, gentle, and open to everyone space. This is their entry-level offering, and honestly, it's such a brilliant empathetic choice. By explicitly stating that Hope should never be behind a paywall, they make the service a genuine gift to the community. This builds immense goodwill and trust, It serves as this super low barrier way for new people to experience the Sanctuary's magic firsthand before ever having to commit to a paid, one-on-one session.
Let's transition into section 3, the 30-day funnel, building trust slowly.
Let's move to this timeline and see exactly how this builds. Just look at the slow burn piecing of this 4-week conversion journey on platforms like Facebook and TikTok. Week 1 is simply about the introduction, just welcoming people to a soft space. Then week 2 focuses heavily on building trust, sharing behind-the-scenes rituals and client testimonials. By week 3, it shifts into educating the audience about what each session actually does. And it isn't until week 4 that we finally hit conversion and deep connection. They literally spend 3 full weeks giving value and holding space before they ever truly ask for a sale. To give you a real sense of what those early weeks look like, check out this specific example. This is one of their Sunday soft reminders. It's incredibly simple, right? You don't have to be strong today, you just have to breathe. Paired with maybe a 5-second clip of sunlight or a quiet corner, this post is designed purely for emotional resonance. It asks absolutely nothing of the viewer except to just take a breath. By consistently delivering these moments of genuine relief, the sanctuary becomes this trusted, safe digital habit for its followers. So by the time week 4 rolls around, the audience is already deeply connected. Let's deconstruct this crucial final week of the funnel. First up, they share the founder's personal story, the true why behind the brand. Next, they issue those specific, gentle invitations for each of the tailored session types we talked about earlier. Then, and this is key, they differentiate the brand, explicitly stating this is not coaching, not therapy, it's sanctuary. Finally, they make a soft call to work together with phrases like, if you feel called, I'm here. It's an entire month of relationship building, culminating in a completely natural, frictionless invitation to book a session. But fantastic copy and a great funnel will totally fail if the aesthetics don't match up. Which brings us to our final section, Section 4, Crafting the Visual Vibe. Strict visual rules. So the crucial point here is that this effortless softness is actually highly engineered. Creating a totally relaxed vibe actually requires some pretty dictatorial design rules. These rigid technical constraints are used in Canva to build their TikToks and Reels. The length is tightly controlled at 18 to 22 seconds, which is just ideal for viewer retention. The color palette, restricted to soft cream, blush, and sage gradients. Even the motion is strictly governed. We're talking only slow zoom-ins, gentle pans, and crossfades. But perhaps the absolute most important rule is the audio. No beat drops and no vocals whatsoever. Every single technical choice here ensures the visual content perfectly mirrors the brand's calm, grounded pacing. And to maintain that strict audio rule, the creator relies on very specific search keywords within the Canva library. Things like calm ambient, healing piano, soft wind, meditation pad, and gentle flow. By rigorously filtering out anything cold, metallic, or fast-paced, they guarantee that every single piece of content delivers the sensory feeling of a warm exhale. When a viewer unmutes a sanctuary video, their nervous system should instantly recognize it as a safe space. Finally, every video scene fades out to this closing blessing. May you return to yourself. The guidelines even dictate the font choice here. It has to be an elegant serif or a soft script with low contrast, just fading slowly to white. It's really not just a sign-off. It perfectly completes the digital sanctuary experience. It leaves the viewer feeling centered, respected, and warmly invited back next time. We've seen just how powerful, precise, and deeply empathetic this soft marketing blueprint truly is. It literally replaces urgency with peace and high pressure with genuine connection. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to consider for your own work or business. What does your audience need a sanctuary from? If you can figure that out and build them a soft place to land, you won't ever have to push for their attention. They're going to naturally gravitate right toward you. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and as always, keep learning.